Are the aliens already among us? Is the evidence for this lurking in the inexplicable images that keep popping up online? There are basically two camps: those who don't believe in UFOs and aliens, and those who are convinced that we have been observed and visited for some time. But what are the hotly debated sightings and reports all about? Where is the line between fantasy and reality? And what on earth has crashed into Antarctica? Modern technology makes it possible. While our ancestors still had to undertake exhausting journeys and arduous hardships to explore the remotest corners of the Earth, today the other end of the world is just a few mouse clicks away. Not even the South Pole is safe from the digital exploration urge of the 21st century. However, online expeditions to Antarctica have also uncovered things that have fueled the wildest speculations and theories. This was also the case in 2016, when a mysterious image appeared online showing us a strange structure in the Antarctic mountain range. The strange thing is that the image looks as if it is an artificially created structure, an entrance that has been carved into the side of the mountain by someone. But how can this be? Where does this mysterious opening lead to? And who or what is hiding behind it? In fact, the gate looks so out of place that the idea of a fake is not far off. However, the experts put paid to this assumption. There is no doubt that this is an authentic satellite image. However, there are different approaches to interpreting the image. Some viewers come to the conclusion that we are looking at an intelligently designed entrance with a very specific purpose: to house a special type of vehicle. Those who also believe in the UFO underground garage theory point to another image from 2018, when internet researchers published the coordinates for what they described as an alien spaceship. Tracked down on the island of South Georgia, however, it does not appear as if the UFO had made a soft landing. No, the long skid marks rather suggest an unexpected crash landing. There is no question that the photos are really captivating. After all, we are not dealing with wild claims and stories here, but with tangible things that we can see with our own eyes. Based on the tracks, it does indeed look as if the object is moving across the ice. But what fascinated the users so much was the fact the skid marks are amazingly straight. Many an alternative astronomer has noted that the shape of the supposed spaceship is very reminiscent of a mysterious celestial object that plunged into our solar system in 2017. Specifically, it is the Oumuamua spacecraft, which we still don't know what it really is. Initially classified as a comet, then as an asteroid, and now as a fragment of nitrogen ice, Harvard professor Avi Loeb has a slightly different opinion of the interstellar visitor. According to him, it is not far-fetched that Oumuamua is in fact the work of an extraterrestrial civilization. Did a UFO crash into Antarctica? In fact, some characteristics were discovered at the time that left earthly researchers baffled. Firstly, there was the strange flight behavior of Oumuamua. As it moved away from the sun, it flew faster than the mere influence of gravity would have allowed. The so-called outgassing of volatile components was quickly cited as a possible cause. However, this would probably have led to a dramatic change in rotation, which could not be determined. And then there is what the experts did not detect in the vicinity of Oumuamua. Strangely enough, no dust particles could be detected around the structure, which is why it is conceivable that it is made entirely out of metal. However, while these are only theoretical considerations, it is certain that the missile is subject to unusually strong fluctuations in brightness. As a result, the scientists came to the conclusion that we are dealing with a cigar-shaped object with an axis ratio of 5:1. And lo and behold, amazingly, this description also applies to the mysterious something that was discovered in the Antarctic. But can it even be Oumuamua? Well, the conventional answer from scientists is no, definitely not. Because regardless of whether it is a spaceship or not, the structure has been flying out of the solar system for years. Well, at least officially, of course. A closer look at the satellite image shows that the object is about 45 meters long. If we now trace back the corresponding tracks, it is reasonable to assume that the spaceship first crashed into the mountain, then skidded several thousand meters over the ice, and finally came to a standstill. So, is it possible that ordinary internet researchers discovered the wreckage of a spaceship? Was the entrance to an underground alien base found in the same breath? Are the aliens literally living among us without us knowing about it? Or are there possibly people out there who know exactly what is going on in secret, but we are simply not supposed to know about it? Are these the traces of a Martian civilization? It is well known that Elon Musk dreams of bringing humanity to Mars. However, the billionaire entrepreneur could be in for a nasty surprise and discover that we are not the first species to have visited the red planet. Well, that's what you might think when you hear the following story. On February 25, 2014, the Curiosity rover transmitted its latest high-resolution panoramic photos of the Martian landscape to Earth. After examining the photos, there was no doubt in the minds of many amateur archaeologists that Curiosity had just captured a groundbreaking sensation. It had provided proof of the existence of a Martian civilization. The rover photographed what looks like a human statue in the so-called Dingo Gap. In reality, however, the image is just one of the long list of strange structures on the red planet. Whether it's artificially created entrances, sarcophagi, a Buddha statue, or even a Christian cross, if you're looking for the strangest structures imaginable on the surface of Mars, you really don't have to look far. But how is this possible? Are our eyes playing tricks on us? Or is it really stone evidence that screams, "We were here"? Well, how the proponents of pre-astronautics answer this question should be clear to all of us. Those who believe that ancient humans were regularly visited by extraterrestrials consider it conceivable that Mars has a very similar past. The artifacts are real, and the images have been manipulated. It all started with the images from the Viking mission. In particular, the infamous Mars face should be mentioned here. In 1976, the orbiter of the Viking 1 space probe photographed an elevation 3 kilometers long and 1.5 kilometers wide, reminiscent of a human face. The pyramid-shaped structures located on the south of the structure made the space mystery perfect. However, according to NASA, we are by no means seeing the relic of a lost advanced civilization, but merely the result of a well-known sensory illusion. Pareidolia describes the phenomenon of recognizing familiar patterns in things such as objects or faces. And lo and behold, the high-resolution images taken by the Mars Global Surveyor probe in 2001 showed that the supposed face was nothing more than a heavily weathered rock formation. Accordingly, the interplay of light and shadow at the time of the older image led the viewers of the 70s to recognize something human-like in it. But can all mysterious Mars images really be deciphered in this way? Joe White has been working in the field of image restoration for 25 years, and he claims to have found artifacts on the surface of Mars that simply cannot be explained. According to him, the images clearly show that the strange formations are not just a whim of Martian nature. No, in reality, you would even see characters and indentations here. For White, it is clear that the images are deliberately presented and processed in such a way that most of the details are lost. But a brief increase in contrast and sharpness later, all the hidden details reappear. White points to a huge statue head as an example, on which the eyes, nose, ears, and mouth are clearly recognizable. You can also see that the figure has a long, narrow, conical head shape. This could either be the natural head shape of the creature depicted, or an elaborate headdress. But that's not all. The statue on Mars is also inevitably reminiscent of the ancient artifacts that lie dormant in Central and South America. Is the surface of Mars really adorned with the ruins of a lost civilization? Ruins that are frighteningly similar to those of our own planet. Pre-astronauts say yes, and estimate that the parallels between the different artifacts are no coincidence. On Mars, for example, there are structures that look like pyramids and stone structures that are reminiscent of Stonehenge. Yes, we even find an object here that looks like the Sphinx to some. Let's go back to the face of Mars. This is located in a region known as the City. While it contains a variety of pyramid-shaped objects, it also has another amazing feature. Some people have discovered that the apexes of the Martian pyramids reflect the position of the Pleiades. It is well known that this is a phenomenon that also confronts us with some terrestrial structures of antiquity. Is it possible that the structures on Mars are real and of artificial origin? Well, this is a question that conservative scientists answer with a firm no. However, we should perhaps remember that the existence of water on Mars was also dismissed as impossible not so long ago. Love learning about the most mysterious discoveries of all time? Then press subscribe and stay up to date from now on.